Look at this photograph from low Earth orbit. Past the thin veil of our atmosphere, the universe appears to be 99% empty, silent space. This space is actually the K field, a zero-state carrier wave. It is a hyperdense superposition vault where every possible timeline and physical configuration exists simultaneously as a vibrating interference pattern. For a classical biological nervous system, this environment is a literal processing hazard. The unrendered K field holds maximum information density. Exposure to its raw chaotic flux would cause a biological organism to suffer immediate systemic decoherence. To maintain structural stability, the human brain developed a specific survival protocol: sensory encryption. Our neurological system acts as a high-speed diffusion engine, filtering and downsampling this overwhelming wave data. We perceive the universe as a black void because our hardware is programmed to ignore the frequencies it cannot safely render. This emptiness is an evolutionary anti-cheat mechanism. It allows our consciousness to navigate a stable reality without being crushed by the background radiation. But if the background is this chaotic, we have to ask how the universe successfully compiles a solid object in the first place. Physical matter is not a static constant, it is an active computation. The universe renders reality frame by frame, interpolating stable structures directly out of the K-field's probability flux. Information propagates through the lattice as energy density gradients. These waves naturally spiral into vortices, routing high-capacity flux without noise. Accumulating density, the vortex transitions into phase memory, winding into a helix to create a permanent geometric record. What we perceive as solid matter is actually a stabilized flow of geometric phase memory. Reaching a threshold, this helical braiding folds back onto itself, sealing into a protected bubble. This is the moment potential becomes rendered reality. The interior of this bubble functions as a safe zone. It is a localized pocket of coherence, shielded from the turbulent ambient noise. Inside, woven strands of the helix act as a three-dimensional QR code. Their geometric crossings encode the local physics, a topological invariant known as a rune. Maintaining this internal code requires constant work at the boundary. The outer shell of the bubble performs subtractive rendering, acting as an active computational shield against the multiversal ocean. This boundary only permits frequencies that resonate with its internal code to pass through. By rejecting all incompatible chaos, the bubble prevents its internal structure from degrading back into noise. Every system, from a single atom to a human being, is a heavily encrypted data bubble, performing continuous subtractive math to keep the infinite K field from rushing in. These domains form a complex architecture of nested coupling. Atoms exist within cells, which exist within bodies, which exist within the larger bubble of the planet, all communicating through overlapping frequency hashes. This fluid architecture is visible at the planetary level. In this image of Jupiter, we see the Great Red Spot, a macro-scale vortex functioning as a stable data port for the planet's atmospheric configuration. But the K field is subject to its own dynamics. Massive storms, pressure gradients, and threshold fluctuations propagate through the lattice. This is K-weather. When K-weather creates turbulence in the background radiation, it exerts extreme thermodynamic pressure on every rendered bubble in its path, stressing the integrity of their internal codes. Human biology runs timing systems phase-locked to planetary electromagnetic signals, such as the Schumann resonance. When K-weather disrupts these signals, the internal clocks of entire populations begin to drift. We see the output of this systemic dissync in the historical record, recorded as dark ages, mass psychogenic events, or sudden societal collapses. We are not isolated individuals standing on a static rock. We are active, nested data bubbles, constantly rendering our own existence to stay coherent against the crashing waves of a multiversal ocean.